Hey guys, so today I'm going to be teaching how to drive a manual transmission car. First of all, you want to get in the car, adjust your seat to make sure you can fully reach all the pedals correctly. You want to be in an empty, open parking lot that's flat. It's most important that it's flat, especially when you're learning how to drive manual. So you're going to get in. You want to make sure you have the parking brake over here on. Some cars it's like just a little electronic switch. And you want to really get a feel for the pedals, especially since there's a third pedal, which is the clutch. It's located, you just have the gas like normal and the brake like normal, and then you can control the clutch with your left leg and these two with your right leg. Alright, so after you get your seat adjusted and you're comfortable feeling all the positions of the pedals, you're going to want to get familiar with the gear shifter here. Most cars, it labels the actual gears on the shifter, but this one it doesn't. So you just got to kind of feel it out. So you want to practice where the actual gears are before you start the car and get going. So make sure the parking brake's on again. And whenever you're changing the gears in a manual car, you just want to make sure you have that third clutch pedal pushed all the way in towards the ground. So you get in, you got your parking brake on, and you're gonna want to feel how all the gears are. So with clutch in, you can go feel first gear, you go practice shifting, second gear, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Every car is different. Some cars have 5 gears, some have 4, some have 6, some even have 7. This car has 6 gears. Alright, now that you're comfortable with the pedal positions and actually feeling where all the gears are, it's time to start the car. So for starting the car in a manual transmission car, you got to make sure once again that the clutch is pushed all the way in. You want the gear shifter in neutral, which is this middle position. You can wiggle it around to make sure it's in neutral. So you got the clutch all the way in, and then you just turn the key and start it like any other car. So there you go, you're all started up, and make sure the parking brake stays on. Car's in neutral. When the car's in neutral, you can take your foot off of the clutch and rest it to get ready to start going. Alright, here comes the fun part. So now we're going to actually get the car rolling. So what you want to do is, first you have to, with your foot on the normal brake, you want to release the parking brake. And then when you're on a flat surface, you can actually take your foot off of the foot brake and just kind of do whatever you want with the clutch while the car's in neutral. But when it's time to get going, you're going to get clutch all the way in. You're going to put the gear shifter in first. So now the car is ready to get rolling. From my experience, the best way to learn a manual car is to get a feel for where the bite point is on the clutch here. That's when the clutch actually starts to engage with the car and you start moving forward. So what we're going to do, we're going to put her in the first gear here, and no gas or brake. You're going to very, very slowly start letting off the clutch until you feel the car start to vibrate and move forward. So you're going to do that ever so slowly, and when you start moving, you can let it off even slower, and eventually you'll start moving like this. And then you can let your foot all the way off the clutch, and that's how you do it. You're rolling now. When you want to stop in a manual transmission car, we're in gear right now, all you have to do is put the clutch all the way in with your foot and then just brake like any normal car and you'll stop. So you're going to really want to practice that motion a few times to really feel where the bite point is on the clutch there. So we're going to do it one more time. You let your foot off the brake and you start ever so slowly releasing the clutch, and you'll start moving ever so slowly. So now we're moving slowly. We're going to let our foot off the clutch a little more, and now our foot is all the way off the clutch and we're rolling. So that's the hardest part of driving a manual transmission car, is actually getting going. So you're going to want to practice that as many times as you need until you're comfortable with the bite point on the clutch. Alright, now that you're comfortable with actually getting started rolling in the car, just using the clutch, we can start to use some gas to get going even quicker. So you're going to put the clutch all the way in, shift it into first gear, let off the brake, slowly release the clutch, and as you feel the clutch start to grab, you add a little bit of gas, feather it, and you just feel it out, and then you slowly give it more gas as you let off the clutch, And there you go, you're rolling again. Alright, now that you've mastered getting going in the car, we're going to practice shifting gears. You need to shift gears so the engine works less hard as you build up more speed. So basically we're going to do what we usually did, let your foot off the brake, slowly release the clutch, give it a little gas, feel the balance, slowly keep releasing the clutch as you give it more gas, and we're going to start rolling. So now we're just cruising in first gear, going real nice and slow, but we're going to add a little bit of speed with the gas, so we're going to speed up, and then you're eventually going to want to shift in a second gear, which is down here. Whenever you're shifting in a manual car, it's very important that you let off the gas, push the clutch all the way in, and then shift the gear. So we're going to let off the gas, push the clutch all the way in, shift it down to second gear, and then slowly give it gas as you let off the clutch to make a smooth transition. And then boom, you're in second gear. Nice and easy, just like that. And then if you ever feel scared or you need to stop when you're practicing, just feel free to, you can just step on the brake whenever you need. Don't have to worry about the clutch or anything. But when you're normally stopping, you want to push on the clutch, put the car in neutral, and then brake like any other normal car. Alrighty, now that you know how to comfortably accelerate and decelerate in a manual transmission car, we're going to learn how to downshift when you're slowing down. Downshifting is good because it makes your brakes work less hard, and it also uses the transmission to slow the car down. So you're going to get up to speed. Say you're in fourth gear just cruising down the highway, and you come up to a red light. So what you want to do to downshift is you're going to, with combination with the brake, you're going to put the clutch in, start braking, shift it into the next lower gear, let off the clutch, it'll slow you down. You go down into the next gear, let off the clutch, it'll slow you down. Then you'll go into first gear, slow you down, clutch in, and then just put it into neutral and you'll come to a stop. Alright guys, you might be wondering some reasons why you'd want to drive a manual transmission car. First of all, it's a lot more fun and engaging with the car when you can actually select the gears as you want. You become more in tune with the car and the road. Second of all, I'd say it's important to know how to drive a manual car in case of an emergency ever. Say your friend has to go to the hospital or something and they only have a manual transmission car. I feel like that would be important to actually at least know how to drive decently just so you can get to the hospital or whatever you need to do in case of an emergency. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about how to drive a manual transmission car, just feel free to ask me.